time. And for the people who do know me, you know I'm more seen than I am heard. I tend to show up to these things, but I don't always speak. I'm aware of it, but I don't always speak. And, you know, it's something like a 15-year-old baby dying or 15-month-old baby dying that will move me to speak, you know. It moved myself, it moved Larry, it moved Jamila and her family, Miss Camille, her sister. It moved all of us to come here now, because now it just seems it's a very sobering thought when it's a baby that dies. You know, we've been dealing with death and dying for as long as we've been around, but when a 15-month-old baby is shot and killed, it moves people a different way than it would anybody else, because there's nothing a 15-month-old baby can do to harm anybody. And Jamila says, I'm sorry, we can't bring that baby back.
Take your time, take your time.
This is where I don't talk. There's nothing we can do about your baby, but something about Marcus that moved you today, and it moves you since day one, and it moved Larry and all of us, because now something really has to be done, because there is a sick in our community. There's a sick that really needs to be solved and really needs to be resolved. So I appreciate and thank everybody here that's moved out for this child, and for everybody else, and for my friends and your friends and families and mothers and fathers that have died.
Where did the gun come from?
I'm getting there.
I know you will.
All right. So I do work with Ceasefire PA, and I got involved with advocacy work because my brother was in jail for 18 years for killing somebody. And when I was about 8 or 9, my mother was a police officer when I was a child. I got to her gun. And she thought that it couldn't be possible, but I did. And it was easy for me. So thinking that it's not easy to get a gun, I was 8 years old and I got to my mom's gun. Not that I had any intention to kill anybody, I was just fascinated with it. And my brother, I idolized him. So, you know, he was in jail for killing somebody. But it didn't resonate with me at that age. It was my brother, who I idolized, did something with a gun, so it made it fascinating. My mother works with guns, so it made it fascinating, so I got to her gun. So what I want to talk to you about is the program that I run with Ceasefire PA. Is where did the gun come from? And it's as simple as it sounds. It's just asking, where did the gun come from? When there's a 15-year-old that shoots somebody, or a convicted felon, or anybody who gets a gun, because the guns that are killing our people are illegal guns. They're not owned by the person who bought it. It's owned by people who bought it on the street for gun, for trade, or anything else. It's traded off from spouses, it's straw purchases, it's lost or stolen, and some, we don't know how they got it, but we're asking people to ask, where did the gun come from? Because you all ask when something happens in your neighborhood, how did this person get a gun? And the only reason why I know that is because every time we come to a community meeting and someone is shot, that's the first thing that comes out of their minds. And it's infuriating. So now we're asking you to ask the media, because they're the ones that get the information. And ask the police officers, because they're the ones that provide the information. You ask the appropriate outlets, we start to get the appropriate answers, and it reshapes the way that we think about how guns get into our communities. Because there's a misunderstanding or a mistake that there's someone setting up shop in Wilkinsburg and Northside and East Hills and everywhere else and selling guns out of the back of a truck. It doesn't happen like that here. It's your neighbor. It could be you. It could be anybody passing off guns for money, for drugs, for anything. It's guns coming from the suburbs into the city. Some does come from the city to the city, but it's more so guns coming from the suburbs into the city. And there needs to be an understanding of that. There needs to be an understanding of how guns are getting into our neighborhoods, because the minute we understand how they're getting here, we can start cutting off the channels of them getting here, and that could save another child's life. That could save your child's life. If anybody would like more information of how you can start effectively asking the question, please see me. I have cards you can fill out, and we'll be in contact, and we can start asking the question together.
Let's give her a hand. It's that